Color guard, halt. Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Face the flag, cast salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, regroup. Color guard, dismiss. As you were.
Well, to be honest, Boy Scouts has pretty much made me who I am.
I first started with Boy Scouts when I became a Cub Scout back in my old school, St. Simon's. They had a really strong Cub Scout program there, and it would mainly targeted from 2nd to 5th graders.
Through learning about it, I figured, wow, that sounds like a lot of work, but hey, it sounds like Cub Scouts could go ice skating, which I really liked. And so I joined a local pack.
As a kid, I wasn't really active, I guess you could say, in Cub Scouts. I mean, we had like 3 or 4 meetings a month.
And it seemed kind of interesting, although it was kind of silly because we didn't actually get to do anything. The leaders just ran around doing everything.
Even though I really didn't have a clue what I was doing, the Cub Scouts gave me my first exposure to the outdoors. And so when I was given that opportunity in the 5th grade to move up to Boy Scouts, I naturally took it.
And then after looking for a Boy Scout troop, I found Troop 80, which is a great fit for me because we get to lead ourselves and we get to do lots of interesting things besides just ice skating.
I believe it's put a lot of boys who otherwise would not have been in contact really in the same community. For example,
I started out in 5th grade, and so I'd only ever worked with people in my same grade. I'd never worked with a high school senior before. I mean, that was just crazy.
So it's like a different community, you know?
And so being able to work with people of all different skill levels and ages really allowed me to work with a variety of people. And that's a skill that I've yet to find in any normal thing that's available in school.
So I would say the biggest impact Scouting has had is it's formed an interbranching network across the country of many other teenagers I never would have encountered otherwise.
Spartans had a last-minute leadership challenge imposed on them. Boy Scouts who stay in Boy Scouting and who work at advancement, even if they don't necessarily go all the way to achieving the Eagle Scout rank, are better prepared for life after high school.
For example, I've just gone through college applications and most of the questions are asking, how have you been a leader? Scouts has forced me to be a leader in so many areas. For example, right now I'm chaplain's aide, which means I have to take over some religious responsibilities. But in the past I've been patrol leader, which means I have to handle food, younger scouts who are sometimes 3-4 years younger than me. I mean, it's a challenge because you have seniors trying to teach 6th graders and expect them to be on the same maturity level and be equally responsible.
That overall has given me great insight into how to work with people who are below you and how to work with people who are telling you what to do. And so I can really work between people.
And I received a special request that Nick be considered for the Silver Spoon, because what's become clear is that the national organization has taken a greater interest, you might say, in the conduct of local events.
So for example, there's numerous laws restricting who can go on campouts.
As a big guy, I took their little chart, their little fitness chart kind of personally.
And now, based off height and weight requirements set down by the Boy Scouts of America, they can't go anymore. And troops are struggling to find replacements.
I'd like to see part of being a quality unit being that you've demonstrated over the long period of time the ability to run your events the way they're supposed to be run, and maybe Therefore, you spend more time in the out of doors and less time filling out, Boy Scout paperwork.
And a Scout is reverent. The Scout is reverent toward God. He is faithful in his religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others.
I think the way the Boy Scouts of America, I guess, discriminate against gays. You can't be homosexual and be in the Boy Scouts. I think that's a major flaw in the system.
I think it's a very poor decision on National's part to be excluding anybody based on sexual orientation from the program.
They should be allowed full access to the troop and all of those activities.
And, the world's changed. So that, to me, is something that I hope gets, worked out in the next few years.
But at least in our area, I have not heard of any troops who exclude Scouts on that basis.
So I do believe they should be allowed to join, but there should be certain separation because, for example, you wouldn't stick a troop of Girl Scouts in with a troop of Boy Scouts in the same tent. It's almost the same deal. So, you have to take certain precautions, but they definitely should be allowed in without a question.
Also, I know that some of the things we are taught to do, such as, believe in God, and for some people that's a problem. Personally not me, but I don't think you should have to conform to that if you don't want to. And so that's another problem I see. And it's not to say I don't love the program, because obviously I'm in it. Whether it's, knowing to do the right thing or whatever, I'm an advocate for it,
2, go, 1, barely made it, that's probably died.
So in general, I am very, very, very happy that I have continued, because the skills you learn, most people think of Boy Scouts as, hey, we go, help out around the community, and we also, make fires and all that stuff. And that's really just a small part of, what Boy Scouts is, I guess you could say.
Most of all, it provides really a community of boys who may not think like you, but they share the same qualities you do. And some of these guys are the guys you can depend on for the rest of your life because you've been through with them in survival situations. You may hang out with your friends from school, but you really have no chance to really test their character. But guys out here, you become really one community because you have to go through the same trials together. And if you emerge from them, you've just created a very solid group of friends.
But people that believe that sports is going to prepare them for a career are usually mistaken. After all, something like 4% of Boy Scouts become Eagle Scouts. Something like 1 in 10,000 high school athletes become professional athletes. So your odds are much better in scouting.